Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a good video for you guys today, but it's going to kind of be a quick one, only because we're going to just do a quick little recap over gold, over silver, over Bitcoin, what's going on. I want to answer a couple of brief questions and explain a couple of things. It's going to take a few minutes for us to jump into the video because I want to mention a couple things first. So right off the bat, if you are a member of the channel, you do have a star next to your name, unless you're a member that got their membership outside of YouTube. Either I gifted you a membership or you made other arrangements to set up your membership. For those of you that are not members, it is only $1.99 to become a member. Every month we do some sort of a special event where you have a shot at winning a free ounce of silver, and plus you get the star next to your name, plus you get your comments. They go right to my phone. It's a fun thing. Now, however, there is one member out there. I'm not going to say the person's name. However, they did previously win a prize, and they've sent me an email. However, they haven't posted a comment. The whole reason I ask people, I got to say this, to not only send me an email with your information on where you want your prize sent to, but I also ask that you put a comment in acknowledging, yes, I emailed you. And, you know, that same day that you email me. And that way I know that the email address that the person's writing to me is also the member. Otherwise, I could send someone an email and say, I'm Donald Trump, set up my account, Donald Trump, and you don't know for sure if that email is coming from Donald Trump or if it's coming from somebody else. I do that because I don't want someone, we have seen on this channel, somebody try to claim that they were somebody else. And the way they did that was the winner emailed me with their mailing address, and a second person emailed me claiming to be that same person and a different mailing address. Now, like I said, I check everything thoroughly. There's no way I could find out who that second person was, but I know that somebody tried. And there is a loophole that you can find out which is which, but it doesn't tell me who the other person is. It just tells me which one is the real one, which one's the fake one. So I'm waiting on that comment. If you know who you are, if you're watching, if you won, you know who you are. Well, you should know who you are. You won. And you've already sent me an email, but I don't know for sure if it's you or if it's somebody else. So with that going on, I had to do a brief mention. A couple people I had read that a comment to that said, you know, you take these comments too seriously. You need to focus on your health. You're a hard worker on the channel. First of all, I appreciate you saying that. You wouldn't say that if you didn't care about me. I know I sometimes put my health on back burner. I take for granted my health. It's probably not the best thing I should be doing. I'm extremely dedicated to growing the channel. I'm hoping I get a YouTube play button before I croak. I'm at 14,800 subscribers right now, trying to grow. You don't get a play button until you hit 100K. Now, here's the thing. 100K seems pretty far off. That means I'm only almost 15% of my goal. Extremely slow. Took me 8 years to get there. I expect once I start doing some more traveling again, that will grow fairly quick as I will be showing other videos. As you can tell that I have been doing different videos on my shorts lately, not just about gold and silver, but if I go to something cool or I see something cool or I have something cool or I just have something funny, whatever the case may be, I've been doing more shorts. Eventually it will come to where I'm just doing gold and silver videos once or twice a week, and I'm doing travel videos. Some of y'all know I want to end up going abroad. I want to start traveling more abroad. I am retired military, which means I can do MAC flights or Space A, which allows me to travel from one military base to any other military base for free. Pending they have an open seat. So that's something that I want to get into doing, and just kind of seeing more, enjoying more, and still grow the channel. I kind of believe that my audience in gold and silver, it feels sometimes like it did top out. I don't take the comments when someone comes on and they're naysayers or they're pro Bitcoin or whatever. I don't take any of that personally. But I do address the comments, and I can understand how sometimes people might think that maybe I'm getting butthurt, I guess would be the proper word. I don't know. Taking it too personal. I don't take it personal. I can assure you that. I am a people pleaser, though. I have been told that by numerous people in my real life. I try to please every single person as best I can, even though I've been told, man, just tell them to blow smoke. I'm like, that ain't me. I actually had someone get mad at me at a store recently, and kind of got a little bit of I don't know, spoken to, and I was like, the guy's having a bad day. I'm not gonna bring it up. And then one of the employees was like, no, you should bring it up. So I was like, ugh. I'm not the type to bring up stuff. I really am not. It doesn't bother me. I had a buddy of mine. He's like, it's like rain off a duck's back. That was something like what he used to always tell me. So needless to say, with that being said, now we're just going to kind of get into what's going on with gold, what's going on with silver, crypto, the DXY. I don't really have a special video to talk about today, and that's kind of what I was saying before. So I'm kind of just touching up on a few things that I've got to put out there to try to solve a little bit of a problem. There is two individuals that haven't gotten their prizes yet, and I want to get those out to them, as I am looking like I may be moving sooner than I had thought, just because of some circumstances that came up. And before I move, I want to get everything squared up and essentially go into the new month with everything behind me. We will be doing a members event in the next probably week. For those of you guys that are members, it's a free event if you're a member. If you're not a member, it's a great opportunity right now. Become a member for $1.99, and hey, have a shot at winning something for free. And you never know, it could be you. With that being said, let's jump into what is going on with silver. Now, right off the bat with silver, looks like if you look at the 1-day chart, it looks like silver, it's not really doing a whole lot up. It's still right around $36. However, when you look at like the 5-day chart, I told you guys I'm expecting a dip. And I know some of y'all that watched the markets yesterday were like, hey, I think this is it. He's right. That's the dip. It got down to $35.18. However, the problem is it looks like it came right back up to $36. Now, that wasn't the dip. Well, what that did do is it clears out all that opening, so the next one, it can go even lower. And eventually, I think within the next couple days, we're going to see that big dip in silver that I've been talking about. Now, big dip at this point is only $3. However, $3 an ounce off is going to put us essentially, if it comes out to $3 off, it's going to put us at $35 silver. Basically, it's going to take away the premium, I guess you can say. You won't have a premium because it'll be $33, but then by the time you add that premium on there, it's going to put us at $35. I would still rather that happens. I kind of like that deal. I also mentioned that there's a chance that some of the big dealers will be running spot prices as we get closer to the 4th of July weekend. Now, I don't normally pull up advertisements for anybody. I don't endorse any companies at the moment. However, I will say 100-ounce silver bar, our choice at spot, that's a pretty good deal. It's 100-ounce. I know some people don't like 100-ounce bars because it's expensive. Essentially, it's $3,500. However, getting it at spot, $3,600, depending on when you catch it. However, getting it at spot, I think, is a good deal, and that's one of those deals that I always tell people. Hey, I'm not ashamed to pick up the scraps, if you want to call it that, or the deals And this to me is a pretty awesome deal because 100 ounces at spot, even if it is one bar, if something bad happens, yeah, I understand you're not going to be able to barter a 100-ounce bar. However, 100-ounce bars are easier than you would think to melt down. A lot of people are like, I don't have the tools and stuff. All you would really need is a propane torch and a pair of channel lock pliers to hold it. And then you just slowly start heating up. As it melts, it will drip into a ice bucket or a bucket of water even, and instantly cool. And then you're going to end up with a bunch of what's called silver shot. And that pure silver shot is still silver. However, if nothing bad happens and the price just keeps going up, you've instantly got a bar, 100-ounce bar at spot. I would definitely consider taking advantage of this opportunity. Will they run some more good deals? I expect a lot of companies to be running deals, like I said, this week. As we go into the 4th of July weekend, they usually do run stuff. If you're not a fan of that, then you can probably find some deals on some 1-ounce stuff. Still pretty cheap. So taking a quick look at the silver price, we are at $35.94. Pretty well still flat right now. We've been seeing the dip in the wee hours of the morning and then pop right back up. Notice it doesn't stay there for super long. A lot of people buy it right back up. However, you look at the trend line. The trend line it is coming down, and that's a good thing that we're seeing it come down for the short run because, one, it makes my prediction to be correct, and two, it gives us a better opportunity to buy a little bit more. Taking a quick look at the gold price. Gold price doesn't seem like it's doing very much. We're seeing it kind of go sideways right now at $3,329. And that makes sense because I expect that we're going to see the pullback on silver because silver is extremely manipulated. And because of the price of it, it's a little easier to manipulate. The market cap on gold, for those of you that don't know, it's kind of difficult for them to manipulate the price of gold, especially when gold right now has a 22.5 or $22.464 trillion market cap as it's sitting at $3,345 per ounce. That's more in market cap than any other asset out there, whether that be Microsoft, whether that be NVIDIA, Apple, Amazon, whatever. In fact, it's actually more than like the next, I don't even know. Let's see here. Take a quick look here what we got here. The next really bunch, I guess you can say, probably 10. Maybe not 10. I shouldn't say 10. It could be 10. 3, 6, 7, 2, 8, 2, 9, 2, 10, 1, 12, 3, 14, 4, 16, 18, 19, 20.1. Yeah, 20.1. So basically it has a market cap of approximately the next 8 or 9 of them. So closer to 9 actually. So once you realize that, you understand it's hard to manipulate something that has that big of a market cap. There's nothing even close to it. I know a lot of people think someday Bitcoin is going to be there. Maybe, but I'm not convinced that we will ever see it. But that's just me. Silver sitting in 8th position right now. We had it as high as 7th when Bitcoin was down a little bit and silver was up a little bit. We were actually in like 6th or 7th place. But right now, silver essentially is getting beat up. And we've talked about that, how it would probably get beat up as we get closer to the end of the financial quarter. And a lot of us are still waiting for that dip. Will we see it? Who knows how low it will go. We're seeing a lot of the short positions get cleared out when we see these dips. Like today, when silver went down to almost $35, we've seen some short positions get paid off. Some people are willing to accept essentially that, yeah, they made a bad call. But some people, the big banks, in my opinion, JP Morgan, once you realize that, then you understand that, they're not willing to take the amount of losses that they're going to have due at $36 silver. And so they do try to beat it down and manipulate it. And they've been charged with it before. They've been found guilty of it before on numerous accounts. Some people even went to jail. Very few people. Usually there's we'll pay fees and stuff, but we're not going to claim guilt. And that cuts a trial. That gives the FCC some money. And once you understand that, then that's it. Taking a quick look at the DXY. The DXY now at 97.92 as of right now. Let's see if I refresh it. Because I actually, okay, it's still there. I was going to say, I actually refreshed this about an hour ago. So I was wondering if it did. And I've already showed you guys the trend on this, how it continues to inch down year to date. However, I mean, right now we might see a little bit of a pop because we had the Fed meeting. And we've also got, there are a lot of people out there that are trying to beat down the price of silver. So we could see the DXY go up a little bit because that will help in driving the price of gold and silver down because it strengthens the dollar, but it's not going to hold in my personal opinion. It has been coming down, as you can see in the chart, steadily for all of this year right now. Have we had some little pops? Yes. But over as a whole, we're seeing it continue to come down. A quick take a look at the debt. We've got the debt over $37 trillion. I was actually talking to a couple people about that today too. It's kind of funny. Didn't see it at all in the news. All the news is pretty much just talking about what's going on in the Middle East, and no one's even noticing $37 trillion. This is a debt that cannot be paid off. There's very few things they can do to offset this debt, and with interest rates as high as they are and not willing to come down, it seems like the interest that we're paying on this debt is what's really racking it up. Once you understand that, you understand that this can't go on forever, and eventually it will have to change. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap that up here, only because, like I said, I've got a lot going on, so I did not expect a long video today, just a short one, but I know some of y'all have a lot going on probably today too. It is hump day, the middle of the week. So we'll see how that plays out for everybody. Hopefully y'all have a great rest of your week, and I thank everybody for watching and commenting. Definitely keep an eye on the price of silver. If you have it on your phone, it's super easy. You can put the app on your phone, and every time you look at your phone to take a call or whatever the case may be, you can essentially just check what the price is, and if it goes to that number, that magic number, then you can put it in order. If I see it go to the number where I'm caving and I'm buying, and I'll be honest, as it gets closer to the end of the month, I start getting a little more nervous that I believe once this month comes to an end and they no longer have reason to short the silver price, they're going to let it go. Now, does that mean it's going to go to the moon? No, but it does mean it's going to go up. We typically have seen that happen after the financial quarters. Once the new financial quarters start, you can see that clear as day right here, 90 days ago roughly, where the price got beat down and then all of a sudden just popped right back up. I believe that we are in the beat down. We're probably about the halfway mark. Obviously the numbers are different in each financial quarter because everything is going up. Gold, silver is going up. The dollar is going down, and more people are trying to get it. And so each time it's going to be harder for them to bring it down lower when they try to beat the price down. So with that being said, wrapping up the video here. Thank you all for watching. Be sure and check out some of these other great videos. And until then, I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. I hope you all have a great weekend, a great week, and I can't wait to see you guys again tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.